My name is Regina Wafula, Jawabu Counseling and Therapy Solutions. We are here at Jawabu Talk. Welcome. We continue with our conversation on the effects of alcohol and substance abuse to our families. Our panelists today are agents of change in our country as far as alcohol and substance abuse is concerned. So we are here at Balm Wellness, a rehabilitation center here in Nakuru. They are doing a wonderful job, an amazing job of transforming lives. Randy, we want to hear your story and where you are at today.
You know, someone once told me, you know what, Randy, since you stopped drinking, you are boring. You know, you are no longer a funny person. Yeah, so I went and thought, okay. So, yeah, that is it. But you know, they're still my friend. And I know it came from a light note, but it was a message anyways. It was a message. So, reducing friendships kidogo, and not for a bad reason. At the same time, I'm gaining new friends. New valuable friends, people who understand the journey I'm going to. At the same time, I also have to reach out to my other buddies and also to strangers who are struggling with the same thing, with a conscious mind to know that they can easily sway me back to the drinking. You see, it's easy for 10 people for you to pull up 10 people in ngumu, but they can easily take you down.
Now, Irene, I want you to tell us as a counselor about the deep dark hole and also now the schedule. He's saying, Rani is telling us that it is tiresome. It is quite. You have to work hard at it. You must purpose in your mind that you want this change to happen to you as a person. Explain to us about that.
Thank you, Regina. Based on the different levels or stages of addiction, people are very different. There are those functional alcoholics and there are those dysfunctional alcoholics. And for the functional ones, they will say it's okay to drink this evening and tomorrow I'll be at work or I'll still take care of my family. But at some point, because of many factors, many turn up to be dysfunctional alcoholics. And as long as you're dysfunctional, your life becomes unmanageable. And that deep dark hole is a place of being unmanageable with your life. And what does it mean? You're irresponsible. You yourself, you don't even care about yourself. Matters self-care, even just being clean. When it comes to money, you can't handle money. And even just relationships, you can't handle relationships. And also it's a place, for some, it's a place of rock bottom where you are so down and nobody now even trusts you. People don't really care anymore about you. And you get to also a place of being depressed. Many alcoholics or many people who have abused, we call them DOCs, drugs of choices, many of them are in positions of depression. Because when they get depressed, you're negative about life generally. You're negative about yourself. You're negative about others. You're negative about the world and the system. And depression is a place of helplessness, hopelessness, worthlessness, and there's nothing that motivates you. And that's why when those ones who finally decide they want help or they want to change, there has to be a place of motivation. And once a person gets to that place of I want change, and I'm changing because I'm tired of this life. I want a better life. I've seen my friend pass away. And once they get to that place of motivation, many of them turn up to be the very best fathers, the very best husbands, brothers, employers, employees.
So there is
because
hope.
There is hope. And even for women, I think for women are very vulnerable. And this is a gender that has really, when it comes to gender issues, at times we focus more on the male, and yet women are very much affected. And they are very much infected. And an affected person is somebody who is like a mother or a sister. I'm also, for me, why I'm in issues of addiction and I'm very passionate is because I was very much affected. And even at this time, I still have many memories of what I went through and what I've seen. But still, there are those infected women who are still in addiction. And yet, the society has labeled them, but they imagine they don't really need help. And because of that stigma, they're also shying away from seeking for help. And what is help? Treatment, sharing their story, coming out just to say that I've surrendered. Because the first step when it comes to help, you have to surrender. You have to accept that I need help. And because of, again, the cultural roles, that now you're a super mom. You are this mom who is just supposed to be the super mom. You're a career woman. You're a caregiver. You're not vulnerable. But many women are suffering out there, and to a point where they are dying silently, and now they become completely dysfunctional simply because of that fear. Another fear that women go through is the fear of being that stigma of what will people say, what will my children say, and yet I'm suffering, yes, but what will people say? So because of that, they will shy away from that support. And I think we should reach out to women also when it comes to offering support. And at Balm Wellness, our hearts are out for those women who are still wanting support. And also, how can you support somebody? I think also it's important could be some people, some viewers are asking themselves, how can we support somebody? And especially those people we think they need help, and yet they don't think they need help. And they're in a phase called denial. Yes. Denial is a very bad place to be in, and that really affects people who are usually in addiction. And one way to reach out as families, especially to our loved ones, is listen more. Don't be very far. Yes, you've seen, and listening is not just listening when they are talking, but even through what they are doing, and try and bring this person close. Avoid judging this person. Because once you bring them close, they'll start earning your trust. And once they start earning your trust, you will provide a safe place. And that safety and security is what they are looking for outside there, through their DOCs, through their peers, if they are teenagers. Teenagers are very sensitive people. And again, most statistics have shown that most people who end up into being addicts started when they were in high school. And so what does that tell you as a parent? It says, listen more. What is your child doing? Who are they hanging out with? What are they listening to? Why are they isolating themselves for so long? Why are they unkept? There are those signs, simple signs to look for, especially in teenager. One, when they are unkept, somehow they are not cleaning up their rooms, they are not cleaning up their clothes, they are just busy. Hygiene. Yes, it begins from there. Yes. In fact, if you want to know somebody has a problem, it's their own personal self-care. They neglect it. Then their priorities are different. You give them a task, they will always have an excuse. They will not do it, but they'll always have an excuse. And there's a disruption. They get disrupted with that drug of choice. And who are they hanging around with? At times also peers. You know, teenagers, the people who matter most are their peers. And a peer is anybody who is of your age. And somehow you feel that sense of belonging. A teenager wants to belong. And they're asking this question, who am I? Issues of identity are very close to a teenager. And if a peer will offer me love, if I'm a lady, then I belong. Then I will do what they are doing. In fact, most peer pressure is not so much about you're forced to do that thing. But since I'm seeing my peer do it, I will just find myself doing it very automatically. And it's good to watch out for some signs that are not normal. There's that which you consider normal as a parent. Watch out for those signs that are not normal and try and bring this child close by just, don't judge. Don't be very fast to judge. Listen more. And once you're closer to them, maybe through communication and through also engaging in what they like, you will just realize that now they're opening up. And they will be very candid and they'll be very open in sharing what they're going through. And again, many teenagers go through depression. And that's why the depression rate is at the age of 15 to 35. that is what statistics show. Many people who go through depression are at that age, simply because for teenagers, they're asking this question, who am I? And if they don't get that answer, they will start feeling they need to get that answer somewhere else. And they will struggle with that for so long, to a point where now they get into depression. And could be for the young adults, they go through something we call intimacy versus isolation, where they are feeling they need to bond with. Could be if it's college, I finished college, and I was thinking I will get a job very fast, but somehow I've tarmacked for 3 years, and they will start feeling there's a level of isolation. My friends are moving on, they've gotten a job, they're driving, and because of that, they will develop some depressive moods, where they are feeling I'm supposed to be there, but I'm not there. And they will get to that point of depression. So I think it's good to watch out as parents and even caregivers. Some children are not growing up in a complete family, but I believe they are within environments. There's a support system, a parent, a caregiver, an uncle, through the church, because there's so much that is happening in the church. A lot that is happening in the church, and I think the church should also provide that platform for just the young people to talk. Talking is not just talking with the mouth, but even with the non-verbals. Engage, have platforms and forums where the teenagers, the young adults, parents can share and talk. Parents are also needing forums where they can talk and have this conversation.
Thank you, Irene. Randy, fast forward. Where are we at now?
So now we are at a place where I'm in a position of service. Dedicated a couple of years of my life to reaching out to people who have addiction issues and other issues of life. And that has brought me to Balm Wellness. And in this position, I have several, strong strengths and tools that I also use. And one of them is ecotherapy.
Tell us about ecotherapy.
Ecotherapy is ecological therapy, in short now, ecotherapy. And ecotherapy is probably a new concept to the ears of many.
Is it the same as green therapy?
Yeah, it's the same as green therapy, but then this one is more outdoor, completely outdoor. We are going out in the wild, and the concept is just from creation, from creation stories that we read in the Bible, that God created human beings in a garden setup.
To enjoy nature.
Yeah, to enjoy nature. Yeah. And then, God would have created even a home for you if he wanted. Because he is the same God who gave Noah instructions on how to build, what material to use. So he had the know-how, but he thought, let me put this man in a garden setup. And so we have been wired from the word go, we've been wired to live in wilderness. And if I could take your mind back, 400, 500 years back, your ancestors used to live in huts. They used to hunt for food. They used to walk long distances. That is not happening today.
It's not.
So that man, wa kitambo, their minds were so in tune with nature, and so they also used to they had natural ways of solving issues. You see, but right now we've been so domesticated by life. Your whole life, you're either in the office, in the house, in a supermarket, you're inside you're always somewhere. But then that disconnection with your true self brings a lot of trouble. That's why people can't handle small issues of life, You see grown-ups not being able to absorb some shock in life. But that man wa kitambo, he was sleeping outside. It was cold.
Yeah, Nana 2 stars.
Yeah, he knew that there might be a lion coming up from somewhere. So he was alert, he was sharp. He was actually using his mind more than the modern man. You see, and they were living longer because they were exposed to everything good about life. But now, so ecotherapy is just taking a step back, trying to tune in to nature. And I think nature is an industry that has not really been used, especially in Kenya, to help people in therapy.
Okay.
You see. And so what we do, we take you out to the forest. We've been to Karura, we've been to Lodigaton areas, we've been to Menengai Crater. We're just exposing you to different environments, and of course we have a list of activities that are perfectly tuned to just bring your mind into the senses, into the here and now. And you will always go home with ecotherapy. You know, you'll always find a way of doing it for yourself. Well, people have gone for hikes. People go for mountain climbing. People go to swim in the ocean, and people get exposed. That has been done. But ecotherapy is different.
Oh.
This is it's usually you go to the forest with an agenda. When we are going for forest bathing is Shinrin-yoku in Japanese. It's a concept that came from a Japanese culture where you expose yourself to the forest. First of all, you're not going with your phone.
Okay.
Okay? You're not going there to take pictures. You're not going to take selfies. You're not going there for an Instagram story.
Okay.
You see, so the first thing we do is called declustering. You know, we take away all your devices. So for the next 5 hours, it will be you and nature. And when I say nature, I mean you and God, basically. So we want to rediscover our senses. You know, when you're going for a hike, a normal hike, you won't spend time to look at these leaves, for example. You know, you don't even know the color of the leaf. You can't see the insect on the leaf. You can't tell that this tree is different from the other tree. You know, now this is ecotherapy, to bring you in tune with what is happening around you. You know, you can tell, this is wind passing through my face. You know, I feel different. You know, things that happened normally, but now we want to tune in. And when you're doing that tuning in, there's something that you're losing also. You know, you're losing the tension and stress of life, and then you realize,
there's an atmosphere of relaxation.
Yeah, exactly. So science and research says that if you expose yourself under trees for like 5 hours, you will have the same therapeutic effect going along for the whole week. Yeah, so you can imagine.
Irene, tell us about balm wellness, and Randy has explained to us about ecotherapy. I believe maybe it's a new concept, I don't know, where we are reconnecting back to nature, not going for mountain climbing.
Not for fun.
Not for fun to reach the peak, but you want to reconnect so that you're able to, he said, integrate your 5 senses.
Exactly, yeah.
Just explain to us.
Thank you, Regina. Therapy is very nice. Therapy brings out the real you. But besides that, I think it's coming to a point where even in therapy, one has to be very creative. And ecotherapy is one of those creative ways of let me just give a case in point. Like, for example, if you're going through loss and grief, loss and grief is when you've lost a loved one, or even a property or a job, and grief is a process, because after now you bury or you accept that this person has gone, or you've lost this property, or even a body part, you go through grief, and grief is a process, and you go through anger, again, and depression, then you start accepting. And now when we engage you in therapy, especially when now there are those people who don't completely, there are those people who have what we call unresolved grief or complicated grief. And when you go through unresolved grief, you need therapy, because definitely that will affect you. Or complicated grief is when you do not grieve, and because of that, 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, you're not healed. So when you come for therapy, we take you through the therapy session. Then we also give you that platform to go for ecotherapy, where now you're able to get in touch with reality and also reflect. And could be like we tailor-make a program for you now when you go out, like when it's time for reflection, the focus will be mainly on this loved one and how you can do closure out there. It is easier to do the closure out there than when you're with the therapist. And again, many people are there, they become their real self when they're out there. I will not know Regina so much though I know her. But when we go out there, I will ask myself, really, is this Regina?
You're right.
Because it's something that really blows and blossoms within us when we go out there. One, we start thriving. Two, we experience a level of healing and connection with ourselves. And we start now realizing that it's doable, it's possible, and the more you do it, the better you become. So that's the process of the ecotherapy.
So you've talked about grief and loss.
Yeah.
Is it applicable to alcohol and substance abuse victims?
Yes, it is. It is because there are many causes of why one gets themselves into matter, anything about addiction. So it could be trauma, like for example, it could be loss and grief, that's why they got into addiction. It could be separation, like divorce. It could be death of a parent, like many people who are in addiction. Through therapy, one key thing that keeps on coming out is loss. I lost my dad, and because of that, I didn't mourn, So we do it as per what this person that has gone through substance abuse is really aiming from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Irene.
Yeah.
Randy,
Yes.
now you have a family. Tell us about your family.
I have a lovely wife. We've been together now, married for I think the 3rd year now, and we have 2 beautiful young boys. And it's a beautiful place to be, because I got a family after I started my recovery journey, and God also allowed me to have a home, have my own house, and more beautiful things. The list is endless.
Wow.
I have good mentors. I have good family members, good relationships. My mom is now my best friend.
Awesome.
We talk on a daily.
Your sister?
My sister is also, now she tells me that she looks up to me, which is a new thing. And I really appreciate, I celebrate every day when I hear young men also telling me, what, we look up to you, we can make it, there is hope. That is the message that goes back home, that there is hope, and there is hope in Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And so I'll just to tell the viewers, there's hope, and but there's hope in Jesus. There is hope in life, but there's hope in Jesus. And I'll tell you again, there is hope in life, but there's hope in Jesus. So if you just allow him to work on you, ni fundi wa mbao, he will soothe your soul, he will cleanse you clean, and he will welcome you with wide arms, and give you beautiful things, And I've seen the hand of God this far, and I'm ready for the adventure of the Spirit. Every day we are moving on to different heights, and I just thank God mainly for family, because it motivates me, really motivates me. My wife supports me 100%. My mom is behind me. My sister is challenging me every day, just inspiring me. So family is key.
Family is key. Good. Irene, your parting thoughts.
It has been a wonderful opportunity just to share our experiences, but when it comes to issues of addiction, especially as families, let us listen more, let us love more, let us not judge, let us not be quick to judge and to despise this brother, this husband, this employee, this church member. Let us embrace them, let us support them, support, and support comes from that very first thing, which is the family, because addiction is birthed from pain, and the pain mainly comes from family. And also let us keep hope alive, because there is hope. With God, all things are possible. But we say from a professional point of view, focus on early intervention, creating that awareness, applying preventive measures, sensitizing our children every now and then, and again just bringing the reality on board and communicate this message. Let's communicate this message. And this is a great opportunity just for people to hear and just to understand. Because I think there's so much negative communication, but now this is a positive communication. And just knowing that let's give these people a second chance. Even when they reform, let us not stigmatize them. Let us not judge them. Let's give them a chance. Let the employers out there look out for them, because most of them are very intelligent, extremely smart, and they have great potential.
Thank you, Irene. Your parting shot to the viewer out there who is struggling with drug addiction, with alcoholism, with anger issues.
Yeah. So I usually say, and I usually tell everyone, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Okay.
You know, you just have to make a decision to change, and you have to take courage. It is possible for you to renew your mind. It has been tried and tested before. There are people ahead of you who have gone through the same or worse. It's just a matter of you accepting the change, and you know, if you change, everything else will change. Yeah, that is my parting shot, you know, and I've applied it in my life, and I've seen it work.
Thank you very much, Irene and Randy.
Thank you too.
We are at Balm Wellness. It's a rehabilitation center. You can contact Irene, or you can contact us through Jawabu. Counseling and Therapy Solutions will direct you to Balm Wellness, where they're doing a marvelous job, an amazing job, transforming lives of people who are bound with alcoholism and drug addiction. We've been told that addiction is birthed from pain. Addiction is birthed from pain. God bless you, our viewer. See you next time.